A beautiful and steamy Saturday afternoon in downtown Minneapolis. The only thing hotter than the weather right now are the Minnesota Twins bats. It's game number 3 of this 4-game set between the Tampa Bay Rays and the Minnesota Twins. And last night, one of the youngsters led the way offensively. Jake Cave, just 25 years old. A home run short of the cycle. Single, double, triple. Kept the hit streak going, now up to 8 games for Cave. He's flashed good defense in the outfield, and the hit streak continues. His batting average over 500 within these 8 games. Welcome inside Target Field. Another big crowd expected, and a really great homestand continues for the Minnesota Twins. They've done it this week with their offense. They came home beat up from Milwaukee and Chicago, and they've gotten good here at home with the bats. The 8-1 record doesn't tell the whole story. 11 runs last night. Now 57 runs in these 9 games at home. That's over 6 runs a game. Their batting average, that's right, the team batting average, up to 311. Even better when you put runners in scoring position. The team average, a gaudy 364. They are scoring in bunches right now. So we thought it was a good time to ask the manager about the luxury of having a lineup full of players that are hot at the right time.
These guys are trying to make a little bit of a stand. You know, I would love to have seen it a month ago. But it is what it is. You deal with the reality of where you are at any given time in the season, and you know, you keep pushing. So nothing magical about it. We just have found a way to play some better baseball, and confidence is growing, and we'll see what these next 2 games bring.
The runs might be tougher to come by today. Chris Archer's a good one for the Rays, and the Twins, well, they've got a really good one. Their all-star, Jose Barrios. When we come back, Dick Bramer, Bert Blyleven break down the marquee matchup on the mound.
Jose Barrios is headed to the All-Star game. He'll pack his bags and go to Washington, D.C. after tomorrow's ball game, making his final start before the All-Star break. And his mound opponent, a two-time All-Star, Chris Archer. He'll be making his second start this year against the Twins, and second start since coming off the disabled list. Yep, Game 3 should have an interesting pitching matchup with a couple of very good right-handed pitchers. And we welcome you to Target Field. Dick Bramer along with Bert Blyleven. And Jose Barrios hopes to head into the All-Star break with continued momentum. He's been really, really good here at home.
Well, one thing we have learned about Jose Barrios, he sets goals for himself. One goal this year coming into the season was he wanted 10 wins before he got to the All-Star break. Well, he's got a chance to do that here this afternoon with 9 on the season. And over his last 7 home starts going back to the middle of May, 6-0, great earned run average, picking up some strikeouts. I like only 9 walks. This guy is attacking the strike zone.
And Chris Archer a couple years ago was about at the same stage of his career that Barrios is now.
Yeah, he's had career numbers against the Twins against the best, and 6-1, 1.95 ERA. He's 4-0 here at Target Field, so should be a good pitching matchup here this afternoon.
It's hot and muggy. The ball should fly at Target Field, except we've got 2 really good right-handed pitchers squaring off in Game 3. Jose Barrios, razor sharp, as his second complete game.
Swing and a base. Strikeout on the fastball. Archer strikes out the side.
Strike 3. Barrios is on a roll. Swing and a miss. And strikeout victim number 12, a new career high. And Barrios on the mound making a start. It is anticipated he will pitch out of the bullpen in the All-Star game on Tuesday. He will be amped up for that, almost as much as I suspect he was when he made the start in San Juan back in April. Kevin Cash will be at the All-Star game. He's going to be one of A.J. Hinch's coaches. And the Rays have struggled, as you see, lately on the road, but they came into this series with a 5-game winning streak. And despite all the players that have been traded and dispensed with, they've played much better baseball than most people thought. Here's the Menards batting order for Game 3. Kevin Kiermaier, Matt Duffy, Jake Bowers, Wilson Ramos, G-Man Choi, Joey Wendell, Carlos Gomez, Malik Smith, and Adeiny Echeverria.
Beautiful afternoon day, and the starting pitcher stats are brought to you by Home Furniture, and it is Jose Barrios making his 20th start, his first against the Rays this year, looking for his first career win against the Rays. This is only his third career start against Tampa.
This is the last time the Twins have had a starting pitcher with an opponent batting average of .210. Probably Johan Santana, I'm guessing.
Well, we talked about the home success in his scouting report. He attacks the strike zone, and can he get another quality start? 12 of 19 quality starts so far for Barrios. There's a scouting report that hopefully he is on here this afternoon.
And strike two. Quality start his last time out earlier in this homestand. 7 innings, just 1 run allowed against the Royals. Quality start the start before that at Miller Park. 7 innings, 3 runs allowed. So he's off to a really good start in July. And a really good start to the ball game today. A 3-pitch strikeout.
And it's important to get that leading lady. Odorizzi had a 1-2-3 inning in last night's ball game, but then after that, 6 out of the last 8 innings, the Rays were able to get that leading lady on base.
Twins out in the field. Jake Cave is in center field. Eddie Rosario is in left. Max Kepler in right. Escobar, Polanco, Dozier, and Adrianza at first base. Bobby Wilson behind the plate. Of course, Logan Morrison on the disabled list. The ball lifted to right. Tracked by Kepler, and he's got it on a warning track. Had to stretch with a reach to make the catch. 2 down.
Yeah, the wind blowing in a little bit from right field, but we've seen, I think, in this series, is really this whole homestand, the ball is jumping.
Yeah, hot and humid at Target Field, just the way we like it. We like it like this, don't we?
Yeah, I live in Florida. Heck yeah, this is perfect. Little breeze today, so that kind of cools some of the fans down that are going to be sitting in the sun most of the ball game.
A couple of weekends ago, I was at Wrigley Field. If I can survive that, this is nothing. 2 down. Here's Bowers. Outside, ball 1. Anyway, just to get back to Adrianza, he gets a start at first base because Joe Mauer was due for a DH day. We'll see Mauer, I would guess, at first base tomorrow. And, of course, Logan Morrison's on the disabled list. So Adrianza gets a chance to put on the big first baseman's mitt. 1-1.
Yeah, this young man, Bowers, only 22 years old, having very good series so far. 5 hits and 9 at-bats, a couple doubles, a home run. Hit a big 3-run home run in last night's game. A lot of these Rays hitters have not faced Jose Barrios, making only his 3rd career start against him.
It's hit well to left. Rosario tracking it. And a catch made, and a 1-2-3 first for Barrios. Getting his team back in the dugout quickly after a 1-2-3 first. The Menards batting order for the Twins. See if they can strike early again, as they have in the first 2 games of this series. The Menards batting order has Joe Mauer in the DH spot, Eddie Rosario, Brian Dozier, Eduardo Escobar, Jorge Polanco, Max Kepler, A-Ray Adrianza, Jake Cave, and Bobby Wilson.
And today's starting pitcher stats are brought to you by Home Furniture, and that's right-handed pitcher Chris Archer, 29 years old, in his 7th season with the Rays. Outstanding career numbers against the Twins, especially here at Target Field.
Mauer with a 3-hit night last night, a 3-run home run. Average up to 278. Facing Chris Archer. And a first pitch strike.
Yeah, Archer just making his 2nd start. He spent a little over a month on a disabled list, left ab strain. He threw 78 pitches in his other start coming off the DL, that coming against the Tigers in Tampa Bay. He threw 78 pitches, 53 strikes.
Liner right over Archer's shoulder, and the shortstop Echeverria there for the grab, 1 away. Northland Ford defense for the Rays. Kevin Kiermaier as good as they get in center field. Carlos Gomez in right. Malik Smith is in left. Duffy, Echeverria, Wendell, and Bowers, the infielders. And Ramos catching his 3rd straight game of this series.
Archer has one of the best sliders in the game when he's on. Good fastball, mid-90s. Got good movement, 4-seamer, 2-seamer, good changeup. This guy's a good pitcher right here. See the fastball, slider, and the changeup. You can see how much he likes that slider.
When he faced the Twins on April 20th, he lasted 6 2/3 innings and faced just 3 batters in 4 of those innings.
Hey, he pitched a good ball game. Twins ended up winning that ball game. Excuse me, the Rays won in 10 innings, 8-7. The only damage was Morrison hit a solo home run off of him in the 6 2/3 innings.
2-0 to Rosario, and a half swing, but he went 2-1. Archer was one of 8 American League pitchers who eclipsed the 200 inning pitch mark last year. Only 8 of them did. Irvin Santana was another. And Archer in that select group, that now select group. Just barely through 201 innings last year. And is not going to make it this year because of the time on the disabled list he mentioned. 2-2 to Rosario. And that's to left center field. Kiermaier won't get there, and it's a base hit for Rosario.
Let's take a look at the Pizza Ranch for the win for the Twins here. What do they have to do? Well, continue. Offense has been outstanding. Kevin Gore kind of highlighted it in our open. Over the last 9 ball games, Twins hitting .311. They're averaging 6.3 runs per game. Not bad right there. 11 home runs, and even better with runners in scoring position. Look at that, 364.
Twins doing in July now, after coming off the road trip, what they did in August last year. Ball popped up back and out of play when the Twins lineup really clicked in early August and kept that run going through September and actually into the playoffs. They scored enough to win the wild card game. They just didn't pitch very well. And Paul Molitor said it best. He'd like to have seen what he's seen now a month ago. Just makes the hole a little bit bigger to climb out of. That was right over the head of Escobar in a check swing, 0-2.
Archer, like Barrios, those are pitchers that you want to try to swing early against, because as Barrios has that big breaking ball, Archer has that slider. Brian Dozier only 4 hits and 24 at bats against Archer.
2 strikes.
Ramos sitting down and away. And it's a hard slider. You see, it's almost like a cutter. Archer making his 9th career start against the Twins, his 5th here at Target Field. You see the hard break. 4-0 here at Target Field, 1.38 earned run average.
And Dozier swings through a breaking ball, and it's 2 away.
And Both these pitchers here this afternoon, strikeout pitchers, averaging a strikeout per inning, and Archer with that breaking ball, just kind of a spinner right there. But Brian, the first strikeout for Archer.
And again, I'll mention what Justin Morneau said. He says that's the toughest pitch to hit, because as a hitter, you recognize the spin and you expect it to do something, and it stays on track, and your swing, it almost anticipates the break that never comes. Escobar swings and misses, 1 strike. Tapped up the line, foul. Archer's an athlete. He's quick, he's nimble, fields his position well, and he will be with the Rays at least through next year, and then the Rays have a couple option years with him. And if you haven't already, you will hear his name in trade rumors between now and the end of the month.
Yeah, the time he spent on a disabled list, that was his first time on the disabled list as a Tampa Bay Ray. So he has stayed healthy.
2 strikes. Down and away. And the Rays are in position to listen to any and all offers for someone like Archer. They'll probably immediately ignore most of the offers.
Well, you know, Archer came up in 2012 with the Rays, originally signed by the Indians, went to the Cubs, and Rays ended up trading for him. But he's pitched with a lot of very good pitchers since 2012 that are no longer with the Rays, starting with David Price, James Shields, Matt Moore, Jeremy Hellickson, Alex Cobb, his closer a couple years, Fernando Rodney, Wade Davis, Jake Odorizzi, Drew Smiley. You think of all those names no longer with the Rays. That's an all-star team right there.
2-2 to Escobar. 17th pitch of the inning for Archer. And another foul. When you're in the situation the Rays are in, and when you're in the situation Archer's in, this is a bit of an audition. There are scouts watching this game for contending teams who think that, given the shortage of impact starting pitching out there on the market right now, that if the offer were right, some people believe this guy would be available. And diving back, the ball getting away from the first baseman, Bowers. Rosario safe.
Need an Escobar double right here. Good speed at first base with Rosario. Escobar leading the world in doubles with 35. And Ramos showing off his arm, throwing over the head of Escobar. And in and out of the glove of Bowers.
Rosario will take off on this 3-2 pitch. Rays still hold him on with the right side of the infield covered, and the ball hooked between Jeff Smith and the line. So they're making Archer work here. He's approaching 20 pitches. The next pitch will be the 20th. In each of the last 2 ball games, the Tampa Bay starter threw 30 pitches in the first inning.
Yeah, Blake Snell.
And Eovaldi last night. It was 0-2. Now it's 3-2. And another foul. Nine pitches in this at bat, and you do the subtraction, and that means there have been 4 2-strike fouls. And a drive to right. Gomez is there to make the catch. Twins get a base hit from Rosario. Leave him aboard. We have a scoreless first inning.
Jason Castro, who had that terrible knee injury, and for a long time it was crutches, then a scooter. Today they'll walk around the clubhouse on his own. Said he's feeling great. Said he's having a lot of fun reconnecting with his teammates and being around here, as the vibe's been pretty good in this homestand with that 8-1 record. A-Ray Adrianza gets to start at first base. Said he likes to pride himself in being versatile. Said he can play anywhere in the infield. Feels more comfortable on the left side certainly, but he's been taking some work during BP at first base. Guys said he watches Joe Mauer a lot and feels pretty good over at first base. And Paul Mauer kind of chuckled today. Dick and I were in there, and he said, it's the first time in my career as a manager we're 24 hours away from pitch tomorrow. I have no idea who's starting. Now, I think he might have been playing a little possum with us, but they have not announced it. Still a plan in place, but really, as of right now, Mauer still working out that plan to who gets that ball first inning tomorrow afternoon.
Thank you, Kevin. If Barrios pitches deep into the ball game, one would think, they might be wrong, but you might think that Aaron Slegers would be the logical candidate to start. Where was that pitch? Wow. But the Twins have made no such commitment. Slegers is right now listed as a relief pitcher. 2-1 the count to Ramos, who's had a good series and a good season. Poked foul.
Yeah, Ramos going to an all-star game this year, and it's his second one. A couple years ago he went when he was with the Nationals. 4 for 8 so far in the series.
2-2 to Ramos, will be followed by Choi and Wendell. On the ground, knocked down by Escobar. It's about all you have to do. Ramos, one of the slowest runners in the league, one away. The other option for tomorrow is to do what the Rays have all but announced they're going to do, and that is turn it into a staff game, a bullpen game. They've done that regularly, and to be honest with you, with some success, where you start a relief pitcher, let him go 1 inning, and then fill it in after that. So we'll see how it plays out tomorrow, and whether the Twins win or lose, and whether that impacts the decision in any way. 1 down. Here's Choi, just brought up by the Rays. Twins saw him earlier when he was recently called up by the Brewers, squaring to bunt with the entire left side of the infield open.
Yeah, not a bad idea right there. You take the power away, but Choi, hey, if they're going to give it to you, lay it down. Well, Barrios very quick off that mound.
And Choi looks at it again. It's a foul tip, and Choi thinks it hit him, and home plate umpire James Hoy says no, it hit the bat. And here comes Kevin Cash to discuss it. It was a breaking ball down and in.
Let's take a look right here. Choi attempting to bunt again, and that big breaking ball.
Well, it didn't hit him. If it hit anything, it hit the bat.
He's He's denying that it hit the bat. See, I did not make contact.
Didn't look like he did.
He did not. But
nevertheless, it's a strike. Yep. Hoy, Addison, Wolcott, and Kellogg, the bases. Or the umpires, I should say. 2-2. And a foul back. Rays started 4-13. That was tied for the worst start they've ever had in their 20 years of existence.
Well, they come into today's play 2 games over 500, 17 games behind the Boston Red Sox in 3rd place.
There's a check swing. No swing, 3-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
And second strikeout for Barrios.
Before Wendell's at bat today, American military personnel serving overseas are watching this game on AFN, the American Forces Network. We welcome those of you in countries around the world aboard naval ships at sea. And of course, thank you for your service and your families for their sacrifice.
God bless you all.
Not having you around. Here's Wendell. Outside ball 1.
Wendell back at second base here. On Thursday night he was at second. Last night he was out in left field. Versatility of some of the players for cash.
1-1. Nice nifty pickup by Polanco, and he throws him out. That ball was scorched. And Barrios has another 1-2-3 inning.
Photo or video with hashtag Hats Off for Heroes. For each post, T-Mobile will donate $1 to support veterans.
And we welcome you back on a beautiful Saturday afternoon to Target Field. No score. Jorge Polanco will lead off the Twins' second inning. Kepler and Adrianza will follow. Ball 1.
One thing you'll see this afternoon, both teams are going to be swinging early against both pitchers. Barrios, a lot of the Rays, if it's in near the plate, they're going to be swinging.
And now 2-0 to Polanco.
Why? Because these guys work quick. They attack the strike zone. Don't want to fall into that 2-strike count because they're both strikeout pitchers.
And there's a strike one to Polanco.
Archer 21 pitches in the first inning, 15 strikes. See the defense, the shift.
But we saw the Royals, I believe it was the Royals, have an extreme pull shift on for Polanco. He dropped down a bunt. And now the Rays with 2 strikes will react to the count and take the third baseman Duffy and put him where the Royals had their third baseman. Polanco dropped down a bunt hit, and that pulled the Royals out of the shift. And so Polanco almost dumped one fair down the left field line with the vacated third base position.
Yeah, something off speed right there. Polanco let that ball get deep into the strike zone and just at the last second trying to flip it down that left field line. So trying to beat the shift, ball just foul.
2-2. Foul tip. And the at-bat still alive. Polanco, the shortstop for the Twins, and an interesting minor league note, Royce Lewis was promoted from Cedar Rapids to High A Fort Myers, and he'll hopefully do as well with Fort Myers as he did in Cedar Rapids. Really tore up the Midwest League as the youngest regular player in the league. And another foul ball.
That's a good thing. I'll get to watch him play some
and
ball.
You'll be able to see. You're going to have a little time off. You'll be able to see, if you hurry, I think, Miguel Sano. He's still with Fort Myers.
I've seen him already. I talked to him when I was down there.
Alex Kirilloff
Yep.
tore the cover off the ball in Cedar Rapids, so he's in Fort Myers. Another 2-2 to Polanco. And now 3-2 with Kepler on deck.
Good at bat. Escobar had a 10-pitch at bat. So make an Archer throw some pitches.
And ended up pulling the string and getting a strikeout at the end of the long at bat.
Went with a breaking ball right there, and Archer picks up his second strikeout.
One down in the second, and now Max Kepler. And now for the Lowe's whole team together, 5 different players have at least 10 hits so far on the homestand. Cave and Maurer leading the way with 13. And ball 1 now to Max Kepler. Strike on the outside corner. The Twins ending June and starting July with some major whipsawing in terms of wins and losses. The Twins went 1-8 on the road trip, and now in the homestand they're 8-1. That's a pretty violent swing from one direction to the other. 2-1 to Kepler. To the right field corner, and deep, and gone, a home run. Max Kepler hits his 11th of the year into the flowers in right field.
Well, another good crowd here at Target Field on their feet, congratulating Max Kepler on that solo home run. Twins take a 1-0 lead. Yeah, slider just had that little spinner right there that didn't have much break. And Kepler so steady at the plate, such a solid swing. It's a line drive home run, just made it over the limestone into the flower bed.
Adrianza takes a strike.
The 10th home run that Archer has allowed, this being his 15th start.
Check swing and a ball, 1-1. Adrian's at first base because Logan Morrison's on the disabled list. I talked with Logan this morning. Everything's feeling better. He hopes to come off the disabled list early in the road trip after the All-Star break. Foul back, 1-2. Be eligible to come off the disabled list Sunday in Kansas City. One and two to Adrianza. Two and two.
Adrianza's never faced Archer. Nasty.
A strikeout of Adrianza, 2 down.
Yeah, not a good swing right there by Adrianza, but that was a nasty slider. See the nice tilt on that slider.
We'll bring up Jake Cave and his 8-game hitting streak. Swing and a miss.
It's good to see players like Jake Cave getting the opportunity and then taking advantage of that opportunity. Of course, you know, everybody talking about Byron Buxton being the center fielder of the future for the Twins, but with all the injuries of Byron, that opens the door for different players. We saw Ryan Lamar earlier this year get the opportunity, and he played well. Jake Cave doing a great job offensively and defensively.
Should mention that Lamar got picked up by the White Sox. He played for him last night.
Career high 8-game hitting streak for Jake Cave. Is he hitting over 500 and some extra base hits, couple doubles, couple triples.
One and two to Cave. Fouled over the dugout of the Tampa Bay Rays.
Yeah, Twins are fouling off a pitch. A lot of pitches, 44 pitches for Archer, 21 in the first.
It was expected that he'd have a full complement of 100 pitches available to him after throwing just 78 in his first start off the disabled list, but he's chewed up almost half of those pitches already here in the second inning. Kepler's home run has given the Twins an early lead. 2 and 2 to Cave. Three and two. Bobby Wilson on deck. Ball left field. Smith retreating to the warning track and makes the catch right at the fence. Again, the ball jumping off Cave's bat, but this time for the third out. Kepler hit one over the wall and right, and the Twins have a 1-0 lead. against the Tampa Bay starting pitcher. And Berríos has been perfect through 2 innings. Here's our DQ combination. In the top 10 list in most of the important categories, including innings pitched. Berríos right now, and we mentioned a little while ago that there were only 8 pitchers to reach 200 innings pitched last year. Irvin Santana was one of them.
Oh,
that ball hit Gomez. And he will take first base to start the inning.
I tried to go fastball in, and for Berríos, that's his 9th hit batsman on the season. Got the hip of Gomez. See Wilson sitting inside. But that 2-seamer ran in and got the buttocks of Gomez.
Now Gomez is still Gomez. He's gotten a little bit older and more mature. He's still going to want to steal second base after getting hit.
Well, he has 6 stolen bases in 9 attempts. Berríos pretty good at holding on runners.
Strike 1.
There's been 4 stolen bases against Berríos in 5 attempts. Again, this is his 20th start.
One strike to Malik Smith. Whoa! And Adrianza says, take a look at it. Paul Molitor says we will.
Yeah, Berríos has 1 pickoff this year.
Very quick feet.
Now the Rays like to run. They have 57 stolen bases in 83 attempts.
I don't think the Twins will challenge. They will not. One strike to Smith. Hit well to left field. Rosario going back. And on the edge of the track makes the catch for the first out. Smith, not the biggest guy in the world, but he gave that a little bit of a ride to the opposite field. Bring up Echeverria. Berríos is on a pace to throw 210 innings this year. Kyle Gibson's on track to pitch 200 even. And so in a league where only 8 pitchers did it last year, the Twins might have 2 pitchers reach 200 innings. And the last time the Twins had 2 pitchers throw that many innings, it was 2009 when Scott Baker and Nick Blackburn did it. There goes Gomez, and the pitch lifted foul out of play. And a good break.
He had a little bigger lead right there. He's normally about 10, 11 feet. That looked like he was about another foot out closer to second base.
And in this age of replay, you know the base running coaches have been working with their runners on just that. So many close plays where it's a matter of inches between safe or out. And if you can get an extra foot to start with, it's going to mean more stolen bases. Off the glove of Adrianza, Dozier flips back to the first baseman. Score at 3-4-3, 2 away, and a fortuitous bounce out of Adrianza's glove.
Well, Adrianza, of course, holding the runner on Gomez. He came off the base right there, tried to backhand it, ricocheted over toward Dozier. Dozier using his glove to get the second out. Gomez moves to second base.
And now Kiermaier with the tying run at second and 2 down. Kiermaier struck out on 3 pitches, his first time up. Foul. You know, we've seen Bryant do that quite often. Flip the ball out of his glove, which of course saves you a lot of time than getting your throwing hand on it. But major league players, their glove is almost like an extension of their hand. You know, it fits so well. He's broken that glove in, and it's almost like he's out there barehand.
And most second basemen have a smaller glove than normal.
Yep. Popped up. Bobby Wilson wants it. A hit batter to start the inning, but Gomez only gets to second, and the Twins still lead 1-0.
Last night, Matt Carpenter thinks he's got a home run. He probably should have had a home run. Look at the catch by Billy Hamilton. Back and up to the top of the wall. Somewhere, Ken Griffey Jr. is blushing. His pitcher, Mir Garrett, with the great reaction, just amazed at the athletic ability of Billy Hamilton of Cincinnati, who goes on to win 9-1. That's not the catch of the year. You're going to have to show me something better, boys.
Yeah, that was something else. They asked Carpenter about Billy Hamilton after the game. He said he thought he'd make a really good second baseman. Get him out of the outfield. Here's Bobby Wilson to start the third for the Twins. And now 1-1. Wilson's got some big hits in this wonderful homestand. He takes outside 2-1.
So far, 6 hits and 17 at bats, and he's driven in 5 runs. 3 doubles.
Might have cracked his bat, but he's heading to first base. And
whoa. Thought about it.
Jeff Smith almost got a rope out and lassoed him. Lead-off single. Brewers limping literally into the All-Star break. Eric Thames put on the disabled list, right hamstring tightness. And with the Brewers losing 3 in a row, the Cubs have, by percentage points, taken over the lead in the National League Central. Leadoff man is on, and now Joe Mauer. Strike on the outside corner.
Yeah, a lot tighter races in the National League than there is in the American League. That Western Division with the Dodgers, Diamondbacks, Colorado, and San Francisco, only 3 games split all those teams.
And another team that's kind of scuffling along right now, the Seattle Mariners, with the A's starting to breathe down their neck. Starting play today, a 5-game spread between those two teams. 2 strikes to Mauer. Got him. Came in with a cutter or a breaking ball inside. 1 down.
Slider again picks up his 4th strikeout. It's a nasty pitch because it's at 89 to 91 miles an hour.
And now Rosario, who singled his first time up. Rosario with a big 2-run home run in the game last night. Ball 1. Fouled back. And the chances of Rosario at this point joining Jose Barrios in the All-Star game very, very slim. Jed Lowry of the A's got hurt last night. There's some concern as to whether he'll be able to go to the All-Star game. It would be a shame if he didn't because he's had such a great year. But if he can, someone will take his spot.
Maybe Merrifield of the Kansas City Royals. He's got great numbers.
Benintendi, Stanton, Rosario. There's a whole bunch of other players that could go. Swing and a miss, 1-2. You'd like to get an infielder. Merrifield would probably be my choice. He probably deserves going. Salvador Perez is the lone Kansas City representative, and he and Ramos are the only 2 catchers on the squad. I believe a few years ago, didn't they allow re-entry for catchers in the All-Star game?
Yes, they did.
That's hit to right on a 1-2 pitch. Rosario has a single, and Wilson holds up at second base.
Well, it looked like the same pitch that struck out Joe Mauer. Looked like Rosario. Of course, you could throw whatever up there and he's going to swing at it, but pretty good pitch right here. You see almost the same spot. Didn't quite have the tilt of the pitch that Joe Mauer struck out on. So Rosario picks up his 2nd hit, 4th hit for the Twins.
For a lot of reasons, I hope I'm doing this for like 10 more years, but one of them is I want to see Eddie Rosario swing and hit a baseball as often as I can. He's got to be the most entertaining hitter the Twins have had in a long, long time. Here's Dozier. Pitches up, ball 1. Dozier's been through the All-Star experience, hit a home run in the All-Star game a couple of years ago. And now 2-0.
Well, 60 pitches already for Archer. Trying to get the 2nd out here in the 3rd inning.
.39 strikes, 21 balls. 2-0 to a hot hitter. Tapped toward 3rd. That is a fair ball, and Rosario now trying for 3rd base, and he will reach out at 3rd, and then the throw across the diamond off target, and it looked like Bowers actually knocked it down with his throwing hand and then threw across. Rosario was able to get to 3rd base.
And that ball hugging the line off the bat of Dozier. It's a force out of Wilson at 3rd base. Duffy stepping on the bag for the 2nd out, and then the throw across. Short hops Bowers. Yeah, came up, and luckily it did hit his left hand.
Luckily for him, yeah.
But Rosario alertly scoots over to 3rd. Good slide by Rosario going the outfield side and getting that left hand on the bag.
No way of knowing, of course, but if Bowers hadn't knocked that ball down with his throwing arm, decent chance Rosario would have come all the way around to score. As it is, 1st and 3rd, 2 down. and Escobar. High, ball one.
They'll give Duffy an error on the throw that short hop Bowers, allowing Rosario to go from second to third.
Archer hasn't had the command here in the third inning that he showed in the first inning. Hasn't walked anybody, but he's fallen behind most of the hitters this inning.
You know, sometimes you come off the disable. It's just not the first start because you're pretty pumped. It's a second start. You get that arm going again. You're maybe not as effective. And Archer has thrown a lot of pitches.
So he's going to miss 2 and 1.
He's been a good pitcher for the Rays since 2012, even though his win-loss record is not very good. 54 wins, 67 losses, but a very good 3.69 ERA.
Hasn't had an easy inning yet, even though he's only given up 1 run. 2 and 1 to Escobar. 2 and 2. Have knocked out the Tampa Bay starters in each of the first 2 games. Snell went 3 innings, Evaldi, and Rosario with a long sprint down the line, and Archer played it right. He stepped off the rubber and bluffed him back to the bag. At some point this year, he's going to go home.
Well, he's going to create a balk too, which he has done before. I mean, look where the third baseman actually is playing short, so nobody there. You can see Archer stepped off first and stares down Rosario.
There goes Dozier to second base, but it's a swinging strike 3. And the inning ends. The Twins leave 2 men aboard after getting 2 hits in the inning. Start third, but he's got a 1-0 lead. He'll face Duffy, Bowers, and Ramos here in the 4th inning.
You know what's impressed me about Barrios? He's worked 125 innings now. He's given up 120 hits and walks. Combine those together, 94 hits, 26 walks. That's less than a base runner per inning. There aren't too many pitchers out there that have been able to do that. He's walked only 26 batters.
Strike at the knees. Paul Molitor talking about Barrios' work ethic, and it's legendary. 2 strikes, and I like Paul's response. it makes you wonder why everyone doesn't do what he does in terms of training, conditioning between starts.
Yeah, he and Kyle Gibson, I think, are the two hardest, and I'm not downgrading the other starters, but they work very, very hard. And why wouldn't you? You know, what the importance of what Berríos does is for his foundation. That's his strength. Any pitcher, it's the foundation, your legs, your core. That's where you want to be strong, so if you can push off of that pitching rubber and really go toward home plate. Talked a little bit about Gibson last night, how he's driving off of that 2-foot pitching rubber. It's there for a reason. It's a starting block for a sprinter, as it is a starting block for a pitcher. Great job by Gibson last night.
2 strikes to Duffy.
The other night, 8 innings.
1 and 2. Paul went on to say that in addition to being a tireless worker, physically conditioning himself for his starts, the ball lined to center and a base hit. The leadoff man's on again here in the 4th inning. Paul talked about the combination he sees in Berríos: confidence, almost arrogance, but yet humility, if that makes any sense. I mean, he's as approachable a guy. He's very friendly, even on the days he pitches, but he is so incredibly focused on his job. He wants to be the best.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Here is Bowers with a man aboard and nobody out. Breaking ball sweeps over for strike 1.
You know, you don't know how long you're going to be able to play this game at this level, so why would you not want to be in the best shape of your life going into spring training and throughout the season? Baseball's about different wins that you have. Okay, I mean, at the beginning of the ball game, you're going to find that you're going to be pumped up. You're going to need that second wind somewhere, whether it be the 3rd, 4th inning, and then as the game goes on, you're going to need that other extra that you have built in to get through a big part of the late part of the game as a pitcher.
So what you're talking about, though, is stamina versus fatigue, right?
Exactly.
And with that, I know you did a lot of running, and Berríos is pretty aggressive in his cardio work between starts. 1 and 1.
See, I didn't do the weights that these guys do today. I conditioned myself by long distance running, knowing that I needed that 2nd or 3rd wind throughout the ball game. I never wanted my legs to get tired. But my legs didn't get tired, my arm never got tired. Because my foundation was strong.
2 and 1. The pitchers I've gotten to know who lasted a long time, like you, Nolan Ryan, Roger Clemens, they all really worked their legs out. I still have in my mind watching Nolan Ryan pitch a complete game in Arlington.
And on the bike.
And then going to the locker room to talk to him, and there he was on the bike to further exhaust himself. And that ball hit Wendell, but now the home plate umpire James Hoy says not so sure. So again, we'll have.
I think they're talking about the count, what the count is.
Well, I think Wendell took off because he thought it was the ball hit him. And I think the Rays are going to look in the video room to see whether the ball hit him. Berríos has already hit one, man, his 9th hit batter.
Let's take a look. Bowers right here. Where is that pitch? Running in on him. Well, I believe unless it hit the back foot, but it got over the foot.
Take a look from this angle. I can't tell. So they're going to take a look at it, thinking that the slider may have hit Bowers in the back foot. Though, at the very least, the count's 3 and 2. And there's nobody out here in the 4th inning.
Sure looked like Bobby Wilson trapped that ball. It doesn't look like it ricocheted off his foot, but it's hard to tell, even when they show it up on the big screen here.
Right.
This is
Bowers reacted immediately like he knew the ball hit him.
yeah.
But if it didn't hit him very hard. May have clipped his shoelaces. I don't think, at least we haven't seen any evidence that the ball hit him.
We're going to say what's.
No.
He's at the plate.
He's at the plate with a 3-2 count. Barrios doesn't want to get the tying run into second with nobody out. Has a chance here to get Bowers for the first out.
See if he can get a ground ball right here. 8 double plays turned behind Barrios so far, this being his 20th start. And Bowers has hit only into 1 double play.
Soft throw back to first with the idea that Duffy might take off on this 3-2 pitch. And there he goes. Ball 4. There'll be no throw.
Well, he tried a 3-2 breaking ball, just left it out. First walk for Barrios.
First and second, nobody out. And we invite you to join Johan Santana Saturday, August 4th for a special breakfast celebrating his induction into the Twins Hall of Fame. Breakfast will feature a short program with existing members of the Twins Hall of Fame, autographs, and an exclusive opportunity to greet this talented group. Don't miss this monumental moment in Twins history. Tickets are on sale now. Get yours today at twinsbaseball.com/breakfast. Food's pretty good there too.
Yeah, okay, here's a guy that's hit into 17 double plays.
Lines one to the gap in right center, and that's going to split the gap. Duffy around third, he'll score. Bowers is going to be waved around, and Ramos gets a 2-run double on the first pitch of the 4th inning. First pitch that he sees, and it's 2-1 Tampa.
Yeah, jumping on that first pitch, that ball hit the that padded fence out there and got stuck underneath the fence, so that did not ricochet back to either Cave or Kepler. And that allowed Bowers to score from first base, jumping on that first fastball, hitting the gap. And watch the ball stick underneath that pad. Kepler has to retrieve it back in. It's a 2-1 Rays lead.
Still nobody out, and here's Choi. Up and away, ball 1. Choi struck out swinging his first time up. High fly right center field and deep. Kepler to the wall, leaps and makes the catch. Tagging and going to third is Ramos, and he is in safely. Kepler played that ball beautifully up against the fence.
Boy, that ball was so high it allowed Kepler to get back and see if he's able to come up with it or even jump exactly what he did. Choi hitting this high fly ball. Kepler going back. And now he's on the warning track and leaps and makes a nice catch.
That's the first out. Ramos played it smartly, staying on the bag, advancing to third, infielding in now for Joey Wendell. Nice stop, nice catch by Bobby Wilson. So in the inning, the first hit allowed by Barrios, the first walk allowed by Barrios, and then right after that on the next pitch, a 2-run double. 2-0. Barrios with a nice catch, freezes the runner, throws him out. If he doesn't make that catch, it was so slowly hit. The runner at third, Ramos might have tried to come home. 2 down, and now Gomez.
Well, we saw Gibson, Barrios, two very good fielding pitchers. And once you let that ball go, you become an infielder. And Barrios leaping right there, able to snare it, get the out at first. Ramos stays at third.
Big man to leave there if you can. Gomez was plunked in the back pocket by a pitch, got as far as second base last inning. Breaking ball, beaten foul.
Tampa Bay Rays are the 6th different team that Gomez has played for. He was here with the Twins in 2008 and 9. Then went over to Milwaukee.
Hot ground ball, and this one stays fair. Ramos comes in from third, Gomez to second, and he'll have an RBI double. It's 3-1.
They got a breaking ball, weighted back nicely, and hit it right down that third baseline. So Barrios leaving some pitches up. And it was kind of a hanger right there that hung on the middle part of the plate. Gomez turning on it.
Second double of the inning, third hit. And Garvin Alston to the mound. And now Malik Smith. And a pretty deep fly ball to left his first time up. There's 2 strikeouts for Barrios. And Smith is his 17th batter. Outside, Barrios falls behind again. Blocked by Wilson, 2-0.
Missed with the changeup.
Heads up, heads up.
Center and deep. Falling down is Cave, and he won't get there. And it's a ground rule double and a 4-1 lead for the Rays. I don't know that he would have caught it anyway because Smith tattooed that ball pretty hard.
When you've seen out in center field, that turf out there is a little bit on the soft side. With the concerts that have been here, they've had put new grass in there. Smith getting a 2-0 fastball. Cave going down, but the ball one hops the warning track and bounces out. Third double of the inning, fourth hit off of Barrios.
Yeah, I don't, in replay, I don't know that Cave would have caught that ball anyway. That ball landed on the warning track. And here's Echeverria. Swing and a miss, 1 strike. 3 no-hit innings, but now here in the 4th inning, 4 hits and 4 runs. Poke to left, and Polanco grabs it in the outfield grass. Finally, the 4th comes to a close. 8 men bat, and 4 of them score.
Expecting maybe a nothing ball game with these two pitchers that have been really very good over their career. Of course, Archer a little bit longer. Barrios 3 shutout innings, but then in the 4th he gave up 4 hits and a run for Archer. Biggest damage off the bat of Max Kepler, a solo home run in the 2nd inning for the Twins' only run so far. And Ramos with a couple runners on, split the gap in right center, scored a couple runs. And then a couple doubles later, they have a 4-run lead, or excuse me, a 3-run lead, 4-run inning.
Polanco takes strike 1. He'll be followed by Kepler and Adrianza. Pitch count pretty high for Archer through 3 innings, 66 pitches. Twins will try to make him toil and struggle in the 4th. That's looped to left. Smith coming in, and he won't make a play on it. And Polanco drops a single into left field to start the 4th inning.
Yeah, 5th hit for the Twins.
And now Max Kepler will line to home run over the wall and right. StatCast powered by AWS. Take a look at Kepler's home run. 104.5 miles per hour. A low launch angle. Max isn't concerned about things like that. His attitude is, I just want to hit the ball hard. Strike 1. His 11th home run of the year.
Yeah, Kepler hit 19 home runs last year.
And now outside, 1-1. Way out in front.
Good changeup right there by Archer.
1-2. 8 wins on the homestand so far for the Twins. Last time they had a homestand with 8 wins, it was 2011. Last time they had a homestand with 9 wins, it was 2006. One and 2 to the Twins right fielder. Outside, 2-2. Gorgeous summer day here in Minneapolis. We expect another day like it tomorrow. And the All-Star break, then the Twins hit the road for a week and a half. Three and 2 with Adrianza to follow. The road trip, 3 games in Kansas City, 3 in Toronto, and 4 in Boston. See if the Twins start Polanco here with a full count on the batter and nobody out.
Yeah, the Twins will be in Boston when Jack Morris and the other 5 players getting inducted into the Hall of Fame. Paul Molitor is going to come over to Cooperstown.
And a strikeout of Kepler, 1 away.
Hey, pulled the string right there. Strikeout number 6 for Archer. So you're thinking fastball, and he pulls the string, and Kepler swings through it a little early.
Replay presented by Jeep.
Good location.
1 on, 1 down, and now Adrianza, who struck out his first time up. Yeah, Derek Shelton will manage the ball club, the Twins ball club, while Molitor is in Cooperstown, missing a couple of games. You'll be in Cooperstown, right?
Yes, for sure. Wouldn't miss it.
Got your sunglasses ready to sit up there on the stage and fall asleep during the speeches?
I'm going to stay up all Saturday night so I can sleep well on Sunday.
I've been there for a couple of inductions, yours and Harmon's back in 1984. But just to look at that stage and see all those great players trigger so many childhood memories. And now 2-0 to Adrianza. Twins with 5 hits, Rays with 4, but they got all 4 of their hits in the top of this inning. Polanco runs well. He's the runner at first. High fly, right center field. Kiermaier with the catch, 2 away. And that'll bring up Jake Cave. Cave with a warning track fly ball to left field his first time up. Twins are hoping to get word sometime today about the MRI on Byron Buxton's wrist. X-ray showed no fracture. And the hope that the MRI shows the same thing. If the hook of the hamate is broken, it will essentially end Buxton's season.
Let's hope that's not it.
One strike. And now a ball. In the meantime, the Twins have found a pretty good replacement in Jake Cave. Hitting over 300.
I mentioned his last at bat, getting the opportunity and making the most out of it. Pitch number 80 for Archer.
1-2.
His change in speed's better this inning than the 3 prior innings.
Getting a lot of swings and misses on the changeup.
Sometimes you find out what's working, what's not working, and good changeup right there. Good location. He struck out Kepler on a very good changeup.
1-2 to Cave. Got him. Went back to the fastball to strike him out. Polanco left at first. We head to the 5th with the Rays up 4-1. Pepsi fans of the game enjoying a summer day at the ballpark, hoping for the Twins to come back after giving up 4 runs and the lead in the 4th inning.
Well, one thing as a pitcher, you put that last inning for Berrios behind him. Now put a 0 on the board. Keep your club in the game.
Breaking ball on the outside corner, strike 1. Kiermaier struck out on 3 pitches in the first, then fouled out to Bobby Wilson to end the 3rd inning. Foul back, and it's 0-2.
Kiermaier really struggling. Came into this year a .260 career hitter in 5 seasons with the Rays. Average down in the 170s. Actually 169 right now.
1-2. And fastball. Strikes him out, 1 away.
See, pulling off that ball right there, and Berrios picks up just his 3rd strikeout. Kiermaier for the 2nd time. Fastball away. And Berrios picks a strikeout.
Duffy lined out to right his first time up, got the first hit of the ball game, and it was almost a carbon copy of the one he just got, a line drive single to center. This one comes with 1 out in the 5th inning, and then the Rays got a walk and 3 more hits afterwards to score their 4 runs.
Yeah, Duffy came into the ball game hitting .311. That's 8th best in the American League, and he's 2 for 3 in this ball game.
And now Bowers, who thought he was hit by a pitch in the 4th inning, ended up walking anyway. Outside ball 1. For the Rays, this is their 95th ball game, and they have played 38 one-run games. Off the end of the bat foul. They're 17 and 21 in one-run games, but that's an extraordinarily high number of one-run ball games.
That's almost one more than the Seattle Mariners.
I think the Mariners have won all of theirs. That's one of the odd things.
Yeah, they're 26 and 11. And you mentioned the Rays are 17 and 21. Twins, they played 21 one-run games and they're 5 and 16, so they have not fared very well in that area.
And of course, a lot of those were the walk-off losses. Been what, 9 of those now, which is a very high number. 1-1. Missing 2-1. '65th pitch of the ball game coming up for Berrios. There's the outside corner, 2-2.
Good changeup right there by Berrios.
Paul Molitor asked today about what the rotation was going to look like after the All-Star break. He said, well, we're not sure yet. One of the factors might be how long Berrios goes today, whether he pitches in the All-Star game or not. But he did say that the first 2 spots would be filled by Gibson and Lynn, but not necessarily in that order. Full count, 1 down. Speedy runner Duffy at first. We expect him to go with Ramos on deck. There goes the runner. Swung on and missed. Wilson's throw in time. A strike him out, throw him out to end the 5th inning. And Berrios faces just 3 men in the inning. We head to the bottom of the 5th. 4-1 Tampa Bay.
Toronto in Fenway to take on the Red Sox, and has anybody been better than J.D. Martinez? Home run early. His 29th of the year. That now puts him into the leading category throughout Major League Baseball. Also leads with 80 RBIs. He's batting .331. He does everything but sell popcorn at Fenway, but the Red Sox had that early lead. They're now trailing 2-1 in the 8th, guys.
You look at that, 29 home runs, and Jose Ramirez of the Indians right behind him. And the Twins have some work to do here this afternoon. Bobby Wilson dumped a single in the left field. And he takes strike one from Chris Archer. Fouled back. 2 strikes. Oh, great catch. Use 2 hands like you're supposed to. Especially when you don't have a glove. 0-2.
Hey, just sitting there like no big deal.
Wilson, Bauer, and Rosario. Pitches up. For the game today, the Twins honored Augustana's baseball team, the Division II national champions, before the game. That's up the middle. Juggled and kicked by the second baseman Wendell, and Wilson will reach. He had all kinds of time to make the play, but he didn't make it.
Yeah, sometimes you forget exactly who's running, and Wendell had plenty of time to really stop, let that ball hit him. If anything, took a bad hop, hit him in the chest, and then get Wilson at first, but the ball came up, hit the heel of the glove, got away. Second error by the Rays in the ball game.
Third baseman Duffy made a throwing error back in the 3rd inning. See if the Twins can take advantage of this error. Bauer at the plate. He's 0 for 2. Down and in, ball 1. 7-game hitting streak for Bauer, during which he's hitting .448. Up and away, 2-0.
Archer again coming off the disabled list. Last start, 78 pitches in 3 1/3 innings. Gave up 3 runs to the Tigers. Got a no decision. See how far they'll go with him. Good off-speed pitch there in a fastball count.
He's in position to pick up the win here today, but this is a far different start against the Twins than the one he had in April, when he, again, 6 2/3 innings, and in 4 of those innings he only faced 3 batters. Twins have had traffic on the bases, or they've scored a run in every inning so far this afternoon. The 1 run they scored came on Kepler's 1-out home run. Swing and a miss, 2-2. Now with 2 strikes, they'll swing the infield around into pull mode.
Yeah, Joe's got great numbers against the Rays organization since he's been called up. You know, hitting .352, but against Archer, he just 4 hits and 20 at bats now.
Down and in, 3-2.
Laid off that slider that he swung through in his last at bat.
Rosario on deck. Fouled away, and Archer will have to reload.
Went with a changeup again. So I think Archer right now feels that his changeup is as good as his fastball. Did a lot of off-speed pitches over the last couple innings.
Took ball 4. And now they're runners at first and second. Nobody out for Rosario.
Yeah, first walk by Archer, puts runners at first and second. Nobody out.
Twins fans, if you can't catch the games on TV, stream them live on your mobile device with Fox Sports Go, presented by Coors Light. Download the app, take Fox Sports North and Twins baseball wherever you go.
Yeah, Rays starting to heat up their bullpen.
Rosario has 2 hits against Archer already today. And now the pitching coach Kyle Snyder to the mound, buying a little time. Sprinted to the line. Now he's taking his time getting to the mound. You know, talking about Rosario a couple days ago, Paul Molitor brought up a good point. You know, Rosario's the type of hitter who feels like he can get the big hits against the best pitchers. And it's, I don't know, part of his confidence that he shows on a baseball field, but because of that, I think he's the perfect guy to have up in a situation like this. Archer is a really good pitcher, but Rosario thinks he's got the advantage.
Well, you know, Rosario, one of those hitters, and aren't that many, maybe a handful, that seem to always, no matter where the pitch was, it could be in the dirt, somehow gets the barrel of the bat on the ball. Guy going into the Hall of Fame, Vladimir Guerrero, was that type of hitter.
Right.
You know, it doesn't matter if the ball is a foot over your head or bounces in. Tony Oliva was that type of hitter.
And I guess that's the most direct comp that we can come up in Twins history, Tony Oliva, which isn't a bad comp at all.
Not at all.
High fly center field. Rosario's going to be out on 1 pitch. Wilson setting up for a possible tag, but he's not going anywhere. Kiermaier with a strong arm.
Yeah, he got underneath that pitch right there and popped it up for the first out.
That'll bring up Dozier. And Rosario, who got singles in his first 2 at bats, a little frustrated after that 1 pitch at bat. And now Kevin Cash is going to come out and change pitchers, and Archer's not going to get a chance to pick up the win here today.
Well, you want to protect this young man's arm too. 93 pitches for Archer. Again, just making his 2nd start since coming off the disabled list, where he missed a month.
Archer had something to say to Cash as he walked off the mound. Guessing Archer wanted to stay in the game for maybe a couple more outs and get the win. Presented by Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in the Twin Cities. By Grant Casino, the best stories start here. And by Wisconsin Dells, the water park capital of the world. He's trying to mount a comeback here in the 5th inning. So far in the first 3 games of this series, the Rays have gotten a total of 10 innings from their starting pitchers. I can't believe Archer's too happy about being taken out.
Well, again, the pitch count, you know, you want to protect that young man's arm, and Kevin Cash thought it was time to make a change. And the first one out of the bullpen, Diego Castillo, got called up in the early part of June, started the season down in the minor leagues, has pitched well, 20 innings in 16 appearances. Given up 1 home run, only 5 walks, 21 strikeouts out of the Dominican Republic. Hard throwing right-hander, fastball, slider. And slider right there to get strike 1.
Twins need a jolt here. They need somebody to step up and at least get a run on the board this inning. They have a threat going without the benefit of a hit, thanks to the error and the walk. 1-1. Dozier 0 for 2, a strikeout, and reaching on a fielder's choice.
First 2 pitches, sliders, and clocked Castillo high in the upper 90s. Just 24 years old.
Wild swing and a miss.
Another breaking ball.
1-2.
Castillo signing with the Rays in 2014.
Toward the hole, Echeverria gets the out there, and Dozier beats the relay. Oh, Echeverria from the hole got the out at second base, first and third, now 2 down for Escobar.
Echeverria playing very good defense for the Rays. He's committed only 1 error at short. Ball kind of came up on him a little bit, but able to get it over to Wendell, and then the relay throw. Dozier beat it out.
And now Escobar, the fly ball to right and a strikeout. Strike 1 down the middle. Great play by Echeverria, but not in time. Escobar beat it out. The ground ball deflected off the pitcher toward the third base side of second base, and that extra distance allowed Escobar a chance to beat it out for an RBI single.
Oh, they had that shift on, and the ball hit back to Castillo, kind of caromed off him toward the shortstop area. See where Echeverria's playing. It's a heck of a play right here, but Escobar hustling out and down that line is safe. So he picks up an RBI infield single as Wilson makes it a 4-2 ball game. Scores on the air.
Now Polanco is 1 for 2. He struck out in the second and punched a soft single into left field, leading off the 4th. Big run for the Twins to get. Ball 1. Given to them by the Rays because of the Wendell error. And now 2-0.
Escobar with that run batted in. He now has 56 on the year, tied with Rosario for the club lead. Runs batted in. And Escobar would say, well, that's why I'm hitting 4th.
Right.
Knock into runs.
2-0. Strike on the outside corner. pitch in the same spot. Polanco offered at it, fouled it back, 2-2. Escobar's the tying run. He's at first base. Dozier ahead of him at second. 2-2. Taken for ball 3. Kepler on deck.
Dozier, Escobar be taken off here.
Full count to Polanco. Three and two. Got him. Off speed pitch. Twins get a run back in the 5th. It's 4-2 moving to the 6th. Catch Speak for Yourself with Colin Cowherd and Jason Whitlock weekdays at 4 p.m. Central only on FS1. Wilson Ramos has enjoyed his series against the Twins here. He got a 2-run double and scored a run in the 4th. He'll lead off the 6th against Barrios. Ball 1. Strike 1-1.
Yeah, with a couple of runners on in the 4th inning where they scored the 4 runs, Ramos jumped on that first fastball away and hit it into right center for a 2-run double, his 3rd double in the series.
Change up inside.
5 for 10 against the former organization that signed him back in 2004.
Bouncer to 3rd. And Escobar still has plenty of time to make the play. 1 down. Barrios will probably be asked to do something you had to do in your all-star appearances, and that is pitch on the big stage after the game already started. Now, in that format, and when you played, to be fair, the games themselves were much more important. I mean, it was a big deal if the American League or the National League won the All-Star game. I don't think that's the case anymore. No, I don't know whether we have an issue here with Ramos, who's very slow in getting back near home plate. Well, this could have All-Star game impact here if there's something not right with Ramos. Let's watch him come out of the box here.
I'm just wondering, you know, on this hot day, if heat exhaustion maybe getting to him a little bit.
He's caught all 3 games of the series.
Right.
The trainer's working on some left leg, it appeared, at any rate. 1-1. So when you had to come and warm up in the bullpen with the game already going, and you did a little bit of that in your career, was it an adjustment for you at all?
No, they'll give you plenty of time, except for my first one. I was supposed to pitch the 4th inning. I was told prior to, so get ready for the 4th inning. Well, Catfish Hunter in the 2nd inning got something hit off his thumb, so he came out. Ken Holtzman came in, and he was supposed to pitch 3rd inning, where he got the last out of the 2nd, and then they called down and said, Holtzman's done. You're in. So I pitched the 3rd inning rather than the 4th inning, and I had to hurry up. I walked a couple batters. I walked my first batter I faced, and I think got an out, then another walk, and gave up a couple runs. Hey, Hank Aaron got a hit off me in that game. That was awesome.
We've just gotten word that for Byron Buxton it is a wrist strain. There's a strikeout. A wrist strain, but the hook of the hamate is not broken. And I think, given what little I know about human anatomy, that's about the best news the Twins could have gotten. A wrist strain. Remember, in late August last year, Buxton had a similar issue, and they were fearful of the broken hamate, but he escaped that diagnosis last year and again now this year. 2 down.
With the strikeout of Choi, it's a 5th strikeout for Barrios, and his 3rd over the last couple innings.
1-0 to Joey Wendell. Changeup drifts outside, 2-0. Just one other thought on Buxton. It doesn't mean that he won't be going on the 7-day disabled list, but if it had been a broken hook of the hamate, as we said, his season likely would have been over. There's a strike, and it's 2-1.
Well, working the outer part of the plate. Good job by Wilson framing it.
Not so good by the home plate umpire. 2-2. What was the best part of your All-Star experience?
Just walking in the clubhouse and just seeing the guys. I remember I was only 22 years old, so having the opportunity to sit down with Catfish Hunter or these guys and just talk the game of baseball. That definitely was a highlight.
Well, Barrios is 24, and so he'll be walking in there, and you know, you can imagine he's probably going to gravitate towards the pitchers, but I mean, he's going to be in the same clubhouse as Mike Trout.
Yeah, you don't talk to the hitters. I don't care where.
Oh, now come on, I bet that's changed.
It probably has in today's game, but back then, no. What was it Bob Gibson said? You know, he wouldn't have made the All-Star teams. He wouldn't talk to anybody.
Yeah, he wouldn't talk to Mays or Aaron because he didn't want to establish a relationship with them and lose some of that intimidation he used so effectively when he was pitching against them. 3-2 with 2 gone here in the 6th. Wendell, the batter. And a walk. Barrios, I think, thought he had hit the corner, and he's asking James Hoy, hey, that was a strike earlier in the at-bat.
He tried that on Bowers last couple innings ago. He missed with a 3-2 curveball and ended up walking him. And you see the curveball outside. 2nd walk of the ball game.
Here's Gomez, hit by a pitch, got an RBI double and scored a run. And Wilson's going to go to the mound. No activity in the Twins pen, but this is now the 2nd mound visit for the Twins.
I think this one just going over Gomez right here.
Hit him again.
No, Gomez is a free swinger. We've seen him. Gomez got a breaking ball up last time up and hit that RBI double in that 4-run fourth inning.
Pulled a ball that at best was the middle part of the strike zone. So we'll see if they stand him up here a little bit to try to keep him a little more honest in the box. Runner goes, and the pitch fouled back. Gomez into a pose with one knee in the dirt after the swing.
Yeah, Wendell got a good jump right there. 7 stolen bases in 10 attempts. So he's trying to get to second base with 2 outs. The big swing by Gomez brings him to his right knee.
Big fly ball to center. Cave coming in. And he makes the catch, ends the inning. Bottom of the 6th coming up, and it'll start with Max Kepler, who's already hit a home run here this afternoon. The scoring started with a home run to right field.
Yeah, that in the 2nd inning for Kepler, his 11th home run of the year. That gave the Twins an early 1-0 lead.
And Jesus Sucre has to be subbed in for Wilson Ramos, who left with an injury or illness of some sort. And we'll give you word as to exactly why he had to leave the ball game as soon as we are given word.
Adam Kolarek coming into the ball game, just making his 4th appearance on the season. Just getting called up on July 6th from AAA.
So it'll be Kepler, Adrianza, and Cave here in the 6th inning. As we've discussed, the Rays have no shortage of relief pitchers. 10 of them. The one thing that has happened, Bert, in this series with the short starts, Archer unable or not given the chance to complete 5 innings. Ball 1. The Twins have played the Rays games that they play after this spot in their rotation. They've had to rely on their bullpen an awful lot, and they intentionally do that when Snell, Evaldi, and Archer aren't starting. So no, we'll see whether that has any impact later in this game or in tomorrow's game.
Well, their bullpen has pitched very well to a 3.46 ERA.
1-1 to Kepler. Checked his swing, and it's 2-1.
Kolarek, 29 years old, in his second season with the Rays. Originally signed by the Mets in 2010. Out of University of Maryland.
Swing and a miss, and it's 2-2.
Isn't Eric Milton? Was he
Yes.
at the University of Maryland?
Yep. Where he played college
And
ball.
coach, yep.
2-2 to Kepler. Twins have had the leadoff man on in each of the last 3 innings. And Kepler strikes out, 1 away. We'll bring up Adrianza. The MLB.TV All-Star Sale is here for $39.99. You can watch every out-of-market regular season game live or on demand. Your subscription includes MLB At Bat Premium, allowing you to watch live baseball on your favorite supported devices. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV to take advantage of this all-star deal. Adrianza 0 for 2, and he takes outside ball 1. Adrianza's had much better success from this side of the plate, actually hitting over 300 right-handed. One and one. Low, and it's 2-1. Those are the numbers we referenced. Right-handed 55 at bats, just 2 runs batted in. But an OPS of right around 800. Strike call, 2-2.
Speed pitch right there. Kolarek pitching very well down in AAA. 42 1/3 innings, allowed only 8 earned runs. 29 appearances, 1 start. Did not go to spring training with the big club. Contract purchased from AAA on July 6th.
2-2. Defensive swing, but it worked. The at-bat's still alive. Now 3-2. Adrianza not one to walk a whole lot. 14 of them and just under 200 at bats. Swung on what would have been ball 4. No foul tip. Got a piece of it. Fouled it into the dirt. Did he? Huh? It looked like he missed that ball by inches.
Get a free swing here.
Toward the hole and a base hit.
What a free swing played off.
Sucre didn't catch what appeared to be a swinging strike 3, and as a result, Adrianza's aboard with a base hit. And Robbie Grossman's going to hit for Jake Cave.
Well, Duffy kind of guarding the line a little bit. And his ball up right down the heart of the plate. Adrianza past the diving Duffy in the left field.
I asked Paul Molitor yesterday whether he missed the days of having a pinch hitter on the bench. I mean, yeah, there are 3 guys there, but there aren't any more specialized pinch hitter types, Chip Hale, Randy Bush types. And he said, well, he's kind of got one in Grossman, and that's one of the reasons why Grossman hasn't started on a regular basis.
I'm going to say Gene Larkin, too.
Gene Larkin, too. A strike, but, you know, it used to be that I guess the best example might have been Rusty Staub, who just recently passed away. Teams would carry pinch hitting specialists. Their job was to come off the bench and get a big hit late, but with the roster construction these days, 12, 13 pitchers, you really can't have that guy anymore. One strike to Grossman. That's off the pitcher, and it's going to skitter along on the grass, and Grossman will reach. These pitchers just got to get out of the way. It's a second base hit the Twins have had after it hit the pitcher.
I think Kolarek tried to get out of the way. Sometimes that ball finds you. Grossman getting his second hit as a pinch hitter, now 2 for 14, right back up the middle. Ricocheted off of the pitcher, and Echeverria comes in, tries to barehand it, never got good grip on that baseball as it falls out of those paws. A couple of runners on with 1 out.
Wilson has a single, and he's also reached on an error. And Wilson asks for time. Twins got a 2-out single in the 5th to get a run. Now the number 9 batter up with runners at first and second. Well, Ramos, we're being told, left the ball game with hamstring tightness, and he'll be reevaluated tomorrow. Outside ball 1, and what that might mean for his all-star appearance will be left for discussion. Wilson pokes a single to right. Adrianza will be held at third, and the Twins have them loaded now with 1 out.
Well, we have seen Bobby Wilson get some big hits on this homestand, and some of them just like that. They shade him a little bit up the middle, got that big hole over there, and he finds it. His second hit of the ball game. Exactly where it looked like he wanted to hit that ball. Ball up.
With that delivery, sidearm from the left-hander, it looked like he had no intention of trying to pull the ball.
Veteran type swing right there. Loads the bases.
7, 8, 9 batters all get base hits after the first out, and now Mauer will hit with the tying run at second.
Kyle Snyder, the pitching coach, out there. Well, Joe hit a big 3-run home run in yesterday's ball game. Comes into the ball game swinging a hot bat. 7-game hitting streak. Looking for his first hit here this afternoon. Be a good time to get it.
0 for 2 with a walk. And to me, one of the best examples of whether Mauer is on or not, his ability to hit left-handed pitchers, and that's come back to him here the last couple of years. Last year and again this year, he's hitting .300 against lefties, hitting better against lefties than righties. Facing a unusual lefty here, and Mauer takes strike 1. Last year hit .308 against lefties, .304 against righties. Strike 2.
And we're going to say it again. Joe's got him right where he wants him.
Twins gave up the lead with a 4-run inning. Now trying to get the runs back, maybe one at a time. 2 strikes to Mauer. Took outside.
Fastball away.
How do you take that pitch? Probably should have been called a strike from the angle it was delivered. 1-2. Chopper to the right side. They'll get the out there and no return throw, and the Twins get at least one here in the 6th. It's 4-3. And Mauer gets the RBI. Grossman to third, Wilson to second.
Yeah, Joe picking up his 28th run batted in. Softly hit, really no chance to turn a double play. And Bauer's making sure he gets one out on this. And he gets it at second base.
Mauer reaching in the fielder's choice. And now Rosario. Rosario 2 for 3. Popped up on the first pitch he saw in the 5th. Last man that Archer faced. Driven to the gap in left center field. Headed to the bullpen. Down for a hit. Up against the fence. 2 runs will score and the Twins take the lead. Again on the first pitch.
Twins got a break right there too, because a lot of times we'll see that ball hit the warning track and bounce over for a ground rule double, which would have kept Joe Mauer at third base. Instead, it hit the chain link fence and stayed in the ballpark. So Rosario jumping on a pitch right down the heart of the plate, finding the gap out in right center. If Kiermaier can't catch it, nobody can. See the ball bouncing just off that padded fence.
Another big 2-out hit for the Twins. Now they've got the lead at 5-4. And here comes Escobar. Twins have caught a couple breaks in this inning. Started with Adrianza not being called out on his swinging strike because it sure looked like Sucre just simply didn't catch the pitch. Instead, a foul tip was called. And now a ball hits under the pad in front of the bullpen, and that allows the 5th run to score for the Twins.
And they walked Brian Dozier intentionally. Now Escobar up.
And outside a ball. Let's go back to the Adrianza at bat. Did he make contact, or was it just a missed catch of strike 3? Maybe on that replay, it kind of looked like he did foul tip the ball. Base hit, left field. Rosario around third. He'll score. Dozier to third base, and he's safe. Kicking the ball to the sidewall, and Dozier's going to try to score. Now the throw to the plate, and he is out at the plate. Well, that was an interesting way to end an interesting inning. Rosario scores. And the Twins score 4 times in the 6th to take a 2-run lead.
Nice going, guys.
is presented by Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. And Twins fans rewarded for the comeback, or their patience waiting for the comeback, because the Twins hung up a 4 spot in the bottom of the 6th. And Berríos is out there now pitching with a 2-run lead.
Boy, if that doesn't pump you up as a pitcher too. So Berríos, it's a big inning right here. He's at 86 pitches, 55 strikes, couple walks, 5 strikeouts.
And Malik Smith has barreled him up twice in this ball game. A warning track fly ball to left and an RBI double in the 4th. There's strike 1.
Now Grossman staying in the ball game, taking over at right field. So Kepler, with Cave out, moves to center.
Outside. Smith 1 for 2. On the outside corner with a breaking ball. Pitch count still good for Berríos in the hopes that he'll be able to get through the 7th inning. Zach Duke getting loose in the event Kiermaier comes up with a man on base, I would guess. Fastball up and away. A right-handed batter rather after Smith, Echeverria, and then the left-handed batting Kiermaier. Three and 2.
Yeah, Berríos able to pitch 7 innings. It'll be the 11th time in 20 starts that he's pitched at least 7 innings in a ball game. Gotta go right after him right here. No free passes.
And it wasn't close. And it's a leadoff walk.
And 3rd walk for Berríos.
Smith runs really well. And now Echeverria will bat. He's the 9th place hitter, but barring a double play, Dozier will use a mound visit here.
Zach Duke warming up.
Catcher Bobby Wilson just got rid of his sunglasses, and as soon as he got rid of them, the clouds moved away. Fastball over the inside corner. Close. Getting back is Smith.
Yeah, Smith 16 stolen bases in 23 attempts. So he's the Rays speedster, diving back in.
Rays tried to steal in the 5th inning, but Wilson threw out Duffy. Into center field, and the base hit. 8 and 9 batters reach for the Rays. And Berríos unhappy with how this 7th inning has started.
Let's see what Paul does here.
Yes, he's got Duke warmed up to face Kiermaier. So Kiermaier hadn't done much against Berríos. 2 strikeouts and a foul out, but now the tying run aboard. And Berríos got through the lineup 3 times, is in position perhaps to pick up the win, although I don't think we've seen the sign yet. There he gets the baseball.
Yeah, we want to wish Jose Berríos a great All-Star appearance. Congratulations.
presented by Jeep, the official vehicles of summer. Twins just put 4 up in the bottom of the 6th, but now the Rays are threatening in the top of the 7th. Jose Barrios started the inning but couldn't get it out.
Yeah, you know what? He had that one bad inning in the 4th inning, and after that, you know, he struggled a little bit with his control. 3 walks for Barrios, who came in with only 26 walks in 122 innings pitched. But all in all, he got a chance to get the win. The bullpen can keep the Rays off the board. And that's what I thought. I thought Kiermaier's right here. As bad as he's swinging a bat,
right.
Try to bunt right here. Advance the runners.
Duke missed with the first pitch, 1-0.
Now Zach pitched in last night's ball game, 1 shutout inning. That in the 8th inning through 20 pitches.
Now 2-0.
They're going to give you an out right here. You have to throw a strike.
Makes all the sense because of who's on deck too. Duffy's been their most consistent hitter, and a couple of hits tonight or today. So if he can advance the runners into scoring position, Duffy's got a chance perhaps to tie the game. Bunted foul, and it looked like he might have jabbed. He looks like somebody who hasn't bunted much.
Exactly, with that right there. Kind of jabbed at it.
That was a bunt attempt worthy of an American League pitcher. 2-1. Still got to be on here, I would think, huh?
Yes, I'm still amazed how a bunt is just a lost art.
And now it's 2-2, and the bunt will probably be off, and Kiermaier, as much as he's struggling, could very well strike out.
Well, Duke faced him in last night's ball game, struck him out.
2-2. Little chip shot down the left field line, and a fair ball. Rosario comes up firing, and safe on a close play. I didn't think they had a chance, and Rosario fired a strike to Wilson. And Kiermaier, who failed to get the bunt, instead chips a single into left and drives in a run.
And Smith, with his speed, scores the 5th run for the Rays. Yeah, the speedster right there. He sees that ball's going to fall in, and here he comes. And a great throw by Rosario, but Smith just able to slide into home before Wilson.
They're going to challenge it.
Let's take a closer look then.
Watch the top leg. It may have been airborne. Yeah, his right leg bounced and may have been suspended over the plate.
This will give us the best view as far as see the leg bounces over the plate.
If it does, if they see that, he's out, because Wilson's tag was before the tucked under leg touched the plate. And again, I didn't think they had a chance with the runner, and the fact that the ball almost backed up in short left field. There was no momentum behind the ball at all.
Well, we know Rosario's got an outstanding arm, and he threw a P to Wilson.
If they see that Smith's front leg was airborne and suspended over the plate, I think this call will be overturned. Seen it so often this year, plays being, I'm sure he is. I mean, it bounced hard and high up in the air.
You can see the right leg never, kind of like when he hit the ground, it went straight up.
A couple weeks ago, I asked Paul about that, about, you know, is this a technique error in sliding? And he says, well, it's just something that happens. He says he's seen hitters or sliders try to keep that foot down, and you end up catching a spike in the dirt and snapping an ankle too. Safe is the call, and it is now a 1-run ball game. So it is not overturned. And Duffy is the batter with the tying run at second. Still nobody out. Run, of course, charged to Barrios. Base hit right field. Echeverria around third. He's coming in, and Grossman's throw is up the line, scooped by Wilson. And the Rays have tied it up with a walk and 3 straight singles.
And Matt Duffy picking up on his 3rd single, this time driving in a run.
Haven't seen Duke come up or come into a ball game and give up back-to-back hits very often. First and second, nobody out in a tie game. Replay presented by Carrier.
Duffy jumping on that first pitch, and we've seen the 3 games with Duffy. Actually, he didn't play in that first game, but the last couple, he'll use the whole field. Good piece of hitting.
And now Bowers. Way out in front, strike 1. Brand new ball game with the Rays putting runners at first and second, nobody out. Strike 2. Bowers, and then remember, it will be Sucre hitting in place of Ramos, who left with hamstring tightness. Twins make a few pickoff attempts with throws on that play. That time no throw.
Well, Kiermaier at second base, good speed, so the little wheel, and you don't have to throw to second, just show them you have that move.
Breaking ball spun back to the screen. Presley is warmed up. Sucre, right-handed batter on deck. Dribble to the right side, and Adrianza gets the lead runner. An important play because now the double play is still in order. An inexperienced first baseman, he played that pretty aggressively and made the smart play.
Very smart play right there. Kiermaier moves over to third. Bauer safe at first on the fielder's choice. Let's see how he's set up to make a good throw over to Escobar. Excuse me, Polanco.
Sucre will bat. And of course, Duke will try to get a ground ball and see if the Twins can get that double play and get off the field in a tie game. Squeeze play. Safety squeeze with Kiermaier retreating to third base. 1 strike. Seems like 9 out of 10 squeeze plays now are safety squeezes, in part because of the decay of the ability to bunt. One strike to Sucre. Outside 1-1. One and one. The Tampa Bay catcher. Cracked foul, 1-2. Sucre with 89 at bats and 12 strikeouts.
That means he puts the ball in play. He's hit into a couple double plays. Sucre in his second season with the Rays. Prior to that, 4 seasons with the Seattle Mariners.
1-2. And Wilson blocks it, but alertly going to second is Bowers, and now the Twins don't have that double play possibility.
That'll be a wild pitch, allowing Bowers to get to second base. But now need to strike out.
That'll force the Twins to bring the infield in. That ball hit the corner of the plate, jumped on Wilson a little bit. Infield in, second and third now, and a 2-2 count to Sucre. Right off the end of the bat. They got to get it before it goes foul or turns back fair. Hit right off the end of the bat. And it looked like it might have stayed in the dirt. Bent fair. Another 2-2 to Sucre. Full count. Choi on deck, left-handed batter. To short right center field. Grossman with the catch. Kiermaier coming home. Here's the throw, and it's cut off. Not a strong throw at all by Grossman. It came to the cutoff man on one hop.
Yeah, I think he slipped right there. Just didn't get good footing underneath him. So a short fly ball to right field allows Kiermaier to score the 3rd run of the inning. And the Rays take a 1-run lead.
See what happened to Grossman here.
Comes in, yeah, he's replacing the grass right there. He kind of slipped a little bit. Not the best of throws for Robbie.
So 2 runs this inning charged to Barrios, and now 1 charged.
Saw the back foot kind of give away a little bit.
Well, the Twins intentionally walking Choi to get to another.
It's a pinch hitter, I believe.
Oh, I beg it was C.J. Cron hitting for Troy, and he's intentionally walked to get Wendell to the plate. So now Wendell, the 8th man to bat, and the Rays have retaken the lead. Strike at the knees. Come back by the Rays and took advantage of the leadoff walk, turned it into 3 runs so far. Inside, 1-1.
Well, we kind of saw it from the Ray Ball Club last night when they're down 8-1. You know, they came fighting back, made it an 8-6 ball game, but then the Twins added some runs late.
Driven to right center field. And that won't be caught. Wendell will drive in 1 run. He will drive in 2 runs on his way to third. He's got a 2-run triple. And the Rays have come back after a 4-run bottom of the 6th with 5 runs in the 7th.
Well, Wendell with his 4th triple of the year. And that brings out Paul Molitor. Breaking ball, he weighed back nicely. I tell you what, Wendell's made some good contact here in this series. This is when he hit Rodney with that line drive on a home run in last night's ball game. Right here, it's a 2-run triple.
Tough outing for Zach Duke, as he's been charged with 3 runs in 2/3 of an inning, and he's responsible for Wendell at third.
This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Minnesota Twins and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Minnesota Twins, LLC.
Ninth man to bat, Carlos Gomez facing Ryan Presley. Runner at third, 2 down. Rays have scored 9 runs, 4 in 1 inning, 5 this inning. A fastball up and in to Gomez.
Ryan making his 47th relief appearance.
Gomez tried to hit one over
into Mississippi.
Yeah, out of the ballpark.
Ryan struggled here on Thursday night.
He had to have Rodney come in and get
a save. Yeah.
A save. Another fastball inside. That's 2-1.
There's Thursday night. Twins ended up winning that ball game 5-1, but Rodney ended up picking up his 21st save of the year.
Nothing but fastballs for Gomez.
High fastball right here to Gomez. Gomez swings through it. A little late on that fastball. See if they go back with it again. Wilson sitting away.
Right down the middle. So Presley finishes up a rough inning for first Barrios and then Duke, with the Rays reclaiming the lead thanks to a 5 spot.
Fourth inning, they scored 4 runs on 4 hits with 3 doubles, took a 4-1 lead. But the Twins came back with a 4 spot in the bottom of the 6th inning with 5 hits. And they took a 2-run lead, but the Rays, we see a lot of runs scored the last couple nights. They come back with 5 runs on 5 hits and now lead by 3. Yes. But 19 runs scored in last night's Twins win, and 15 so far here this afternoon. I love those pitchers' duels.
Twins sent 8 men to the plate in the 6th inning, scoring 4 times. And now Polanco will lead things off against a relief pitcher we have not seen yet. Jamie Schultz.
Well, they got more down there we haven't seen.
We'll see them tomorrow.
Schultz, 27 years old, fastball, mid-90s, curveball, slider, changeup in his rookie season.
to the backstop, 2-0.
He's been up and down. A couple of stints, got recalled on July 8th for the second time. Started the season in AAA. Schultz signed by the Rays back in 2013.
Big swing by Polanco on the 2-0 pitch, fouled it straight back, 2-1. Polanco, Kepler, and Adrianza. Twins are down by 3 runs going to the bottom of the 5th. Ended up taking the lead, hoping for another comeback this afternoon. High fly, right center field, hit to the gap, but Gomez has it measured 1 away. And that'll bring up Kepler. If you're looking for a convenient ticket package that fits the demands of your busy schedule, the Flex Plan gives you a bank of 20 tickets to use during the season any way you choose. Any combination that adds up to 20, you can take care of it this way. Flex Plan gives you the flexibility to choose only the games you wish to attend, all the way up until the first pitch. Learn more at twinsbaseball.com/flex. Here is Kepler. Kepler with a home run in the 2nd, then a couple of swinging strikeouts. Ball 1. Big fly ball, short right center field. Kiermaier running in, and he'll let Gomez handle it for out number 2.
Yeah, Dick, you kind of touched on it last night. A lot of the relievers out of that bullpen for the Rays are guys in the minor leagues that made a lot of minor league starts. So they're guys that can pitch multi-innings. They didn't sign as, say, you're going to be a reliever.
1-inning guy.
Right. Schultz, a guy that signed with the Rays, basically 79 coming into the year, 79 minor league starts, 104 games. This year in AAA, mainly used in the bullpen.
Adrianza takes a high strike. The hope is for a traditionalist, purist like me that they'll find some of these guys and figure they can start next year so they don't go through this again. I don't know how much I'm going to enjoy the game tomorrow if we have in 9 innings 6-7 different pitchers starting after the first inning. And, well, with it being the plan all along.
Right. Yeah, it kind of worked out that way last night. In last night's game, Twins used what, 7? 7 pitchers. Rays used 5.
That's not that uncommon, but when you go into a game thinking, you know what, we just want to get a clean inning out of our starter, our opener. 2-1 to Adrianza. Now 3-1 with Grossman on deck. We'll talk more about it tomorrow, but I remember as a kid, if I found out I was going to a Twins game,
you want to know who's starting?
I wanted to know who was starting. Was it going to be Jim Cott, Camilo Pascual, Bert Blyleven? I was still a kid when you were pitching.
Sergio Romo.
There's a walk, and Adrianza is aboard with 2 outs. And that'll bring up Grossman. Got a weird hit, an infield hit in the 4-run 6th. Robbie's average continuing to climb, and you saw in the series he's 5 for 7. On the outside corner. Swing and a miss. 0-2. One thing that's pretty common, they all throw in the mid-90s. Saw something on Twitter the other day. The average fastball velocity for all the pitchers in the All-Star game this year, 95 and a fraction.
Wow.
I mean, that's the average. Driven foul. Let's try to do something with Adrian's 2-out walk. Up and away, and it's 1-2. Call, third strike, and gross manure. We head to the 8th with the Rays leading 9-6.
This date, 10 years ago, Twins first baseman Justin Morneau won the 2008 Home Run Derby at Yankee Stadium over the Rangers' Josh Hamilton. He won it 5 home runs to 3 in the final round.
Congratulations to Justin. It doesn't seem like that was 10 years ago already, but it was. I'm guessing the home run contest won't be as memorable this year. Pretty sure of that, actually. Matt Belisle will come in to pitch for the Twins in the 8th inning.
Yeah, Matt making his 13th appearance in a Twins uniform, his 21st overall. Started the season in the bullpen of the Cleveland Indians. Matt worked in last night's ballgame, faced only one hitter, got the strikeout to end the 6th inning, struck out Ramos on 3 pitches.
Had a good ball game, drew a leadoff walk that triggered the big inning, the 5-run inning that saw the Rays retake the lead. He's also hit the ball hard a couple of times to left field for an out in the 3rd, and then he cracked an RBI double in the 4th. There's another line drive that gets to Kepler in a hurry. Smith aboard with a leadoff single. And now Adeiny Echeverria. There's a decent chance, I think, that Echeverria will be traded before the end of the month. But it'll probably be after the first domino falls at shortstop, and that's Manny Machado. There are a number of teams interested in upgrading at short. Cleveland's not one of them. Houston's not one of them. We know that. But the Brewers are in the mix. The Phillies are in the mix to upgrade at short. And I would imagine it'll be, with all the teams supposedly interested in Machado, whenever he does get dealt, That's when the Echeverrias of the world, the other shortstops would get dealt.
The dominoes will start to
Yeah,
fall.
wouldn't you, I mean, don't you think that's how it'll play out?
We'll wait and see. Yeah.
And he keeps swinging the bat. And Belisle gives up a couple of quick hits here in the 8th.
And left that breaking ball up, and Echeverria picks up his second straight hit, second of the ball game. It doesn't look like the Rays are done yet. The breaking ball stayed middle in. Wilson wanted it away. And Echeverria hitting it through the infield quickly.
Now Kevin Cash says, hey, Kevin, just do what you did last time. Look like you've never bunted before and then drop a single into left field. Same situation that we had in the 7th inning when Kiermaier failed to bunt.
He's going to try it again.
And a throw to second base, and Smith gets back. Ball 1. There's a good bunt, real good bunt, and there'll be no play. Kiermaier will get a bunt single instead of a sacrifice. A little mix up there. Belisle looking at Escobar, and Escobar looking at Belisle.
But that's a play that Escobar's got to come in and make that play. Get the out. If they're going to give you an out, you got to take it. And Escobar kind of waited back too long. By the time Belisle got to it, Kiermaier and his speed gets an infield bunt single. So right here, you got to come charging in. Escobar, you can see, kind of waited too long. So the bases are loaded for the Rays, but nobody out.
And Duffy has picked up hits his last 3 times up. The only time the Twins retired him, he lined out to Kepler in right field. And Duffy collapses. Oh my. An aggressive swing, and he buckled as soon as he completed his swing. Oh my. Such a good hitter, and he did something on the swing.
Let's take a look right here. I missed all of last year. We see the left foot give way.
Right foot, the back foot.
Well, I thought it was the left one. He kind of turned right there.
Watch the.
Yeah. He had Achilles surgery, left Achilles surgery, and missed all of 2017.
I'm just relieved he's able to put some weight on it. I wasn't sure what happened, but the way he buckled, it looked like he tweaked a knee or a groin or something. And Robertson is the only bench player left for the Rays, and Duffy will stay in the game. Well, that's a relief. Still not feeling 100%. So 1 strike from Belisle to Duffy. Yeah, it's quite another thing. He's staying in the game, but will he swing again? Right foot ankle is his push-off foot. 1-1. Pretty good swing for a guy who was writhing in pain a few minutes ago. 1-2.
Oh, with the 3 hits, his batting average up to .317. That'll put him 5th in the American League in hitting.
1-2.
Duffy, 27 years old. His first full season with the Giants in 2015. He was second in the Rookie of the Year voting, behind Chris Bryant of the Cubs. And he got traded over to the Rays in 2016. In the Matt Moore trade. Good pitch.
Strikes out. One away.
Now good breaking ball down and away, and Duffy walks slowly back to the dugout for the first out. Good location of this pitch.
Bowers has scored a couple of runs without a hit. He walked and scored in the fourth, reached in the fielder's choice and scored in the seventh. Breaking ball and a swing and a miss.
Looks like a fastball and then works down and in to Bowers for strike one as he swings through it.
Strike two. Have filled the bases with 3 singles against Belisle here in the 8th inning. Foul to the screen. Rays looking for their 49th win. Record marginally better than the Angels. 48-47 on the season. 2 strikes.
Wilson sitting inside again.
1-2. One and two. Two and two. And now a full count. The bases are already full.
I think all 5 pitches have been breaking balls. Left it up.
And it'll go all the way to the wall. Smith, Echeverria will score. Kiermaier will be held. And the Rays have opened up now a 5-run lead. A double for Bauer.
Yeah, he left that breaking ball up. Bowers with his 13th double. Gets his first hit of the ball game. So he got ahead 0-2, and then you can see the 3-2 pitch right there. Bowers lining it into that right field corner. Smith, Echeverria score.
The Twins have to bring the infield in here with Sucre at the plate. Sucre hit a short fly ball to right field. Kiermaier scampered home. Even though the ball was hit to short right field, Grossman never got much behind his throw. And then there was a 2-run triple after that. Just kind of an awful inning, and this one's not getting off to a better start at all. Already 2 more up on the board. Dribbled, and there'll be no play at home. And Sucre drives in and run one with a short fly ball in the 7th. Now a little squibber. He's got 2 runs batted in. And Kiermaier sprinting home from 3rd on each.
Another crooked number put on by the Rays. 3 so far here in the 8th to take a 12-6 lead.
And now Crone, who was intentionally walked in his pinch hitting appearance in the 7th. Belisle now, since coming to the Twins, 12 innings pitched, 21 hits, with the 4 allowed today. One and one. Adrianza over for a look, but it's out of play. 1 and 2. Rays have scored 4 runs in an inning, 5 in an inning, and now 3. There's a blast off the bat of Crone to deep left field, and that's gone. I stand corrected. They've scored 5 this inning.
Well, that's how strong Crone is right there. His 19th home run of the year. He leads the Rays in home runs. A breaking ball. And hits it in the bullpen area.
5 runs in the inning, all of them charged to Belisle. And now 13 earned runs allowed in 12 innings.
That's kind of right off the end of the bat, but you see his strength. Ricochets back on the field. So a 2-run home run for Crone.
Here's Wendell in a 14-6 game. Wendell's 2-run triple in the 7th inning might have been the biggest hit of the 14 that the Rays have here. Rays had just a 1-run lead, and the Twins intentionally walked Crone to pitch to Wendell. And now he shoots one down the left field line on the ground, and he'll scamper around first. Rosario comes up firing and got him. What a throw by Rosario. He nearly got an assist at home plate. Now he gets one, even though the Rays might challenge it, even though they're up by plenty.
Rosario on his arm. And Dozier, quick tag.
Yeah, I think he's safe. Wendell sliding in the infield side of the base, and they're going to take a look at it. And I think the inning will continue. And it's not a matter of the score so much as, hey, the guy hustled.
And get the call right.
Right, get the call right. But I mean, and for the Rays, from their decision to go ahead and challenge it, it's like, hey, my guy ran out of the box. We've been saying you got to do that since the first day of spring training. Got a chance for an extra base hit.
We'll see where Bryant touches him right there.
Well, maybe he'll be out after all. Yeah. My guess is the out call will stand. You care to make a guess?
No. Every time I guess, it's the opposite.
Right.
Wilcox, the second base umpire, he was right on top of it, so he saw something. He saw Brian touch window before that foot could get on the bag.
And the sound track people here playing the Beatles' Let It Be. They should have localized it. Maybe somebody recorded McCartney singing Let It Be when he had his concert here a few years ago.
I'm just looking at it on a big screen. Boy, it's a bang.
Out. Yeah, there. Credit Rosario. He gets the assist, and the inning finally comes to an end, but the Rays add 5 more.
(14-6) Tampa Bay. Stay with us right after the game for Twins Live, presented by CenturyLink. Twins rallied from down 4-1 to take a lead, but then around and around they went. Tampa 5 in the 7th, 5 in the 8th. Ouch. Jose Barrios' final start before the appearance in Washington, D.C. in the All-Star game. It should not dampen what has been a great first half for Barrios, who'll represent the Twins at that All-Star game. We'll go inside the manager's office here from Paul Molitor, maybe get some clarification on that starter for tomorrow, and maybe, guys, he can talk about the Twins scoring 5 in the 8th and 5 in the 9th and turning the tables here on these pesky Rays.
Thank you, Kevin. Let's hope so.
Schultz out there again, and he misses ball 1, ball 2 to Bobby Wilson.
Bobby Wilson, a couple singles in tonight's or today's game. Feels like tonight already. Scored 1 run.
3-0. And Daniel Robertson's in the game at third base. Duffy left, perhaps because of a foot or ankle issue. There's a strike.
Kevin Cash using his whole bench here this afternoon.
But he's got plenty of relievers left. Swing and a miss, and it's 3-2.
Bobby's going to get another fastball right here. See what he does with it.
Swung on and missed. One away.
Schultz comes back. 3-0, comes back and strikes out his second batter.
Are you game for a little excitement? Head to foxsportsnorth.com, submit a photo and message for the opportunity to be featured in the Minnesota Lottery Winner's Circle during our broadcast and receive $100 in scratch tickets with the Minnesota Lottery. Every day is game day. Here is Mauer, 0 for 3 with a walk and a run batted in. Strike one. Up and in. 1-1. If the Rays win this game, it will clinch. The victory will for them. A victory in the season series. Remember, they swept the Twins back in April in St. Petersburg. Swung on and foul tip. 1-2. Expect to see Joe back at first base tomorrow. Foul back. The plan, I believe, for the Rays tomorrow is to start Stanek, a hard-throwing right-hander the Twins saw last night. Throws in the upper 90s. But then again, expecting him to go only an inning, maybe two. 2-2. Fouled back.
Yeah, by my accounts, I think I counted last night 13 different starters used by Kevin Cash, but a lot of those are the reliever.
Right. Two and two.
It's just a bit high.
Three and two to Mauer with one down on the Twins' eighth. High fly left center field. Retreating is Kiermaier. And fighting the sun a little bit. He had to look right up into it. Made the catch in front of Smith. Two down.
He's talking to Smith right there. Why don't you catch that thing? Look. Kiermaier coming over. He's got the shades on. Oh boy, is he fighting it. Reaches out at the last second, able to get the fly ball, and there's Smith standing behind him laughing at him.
I don't know
whoever did that, that's not good.
I don't know if that came down during the flight of that fly ball or afterwards, or whether it's been there. Rosario takes ball one. A two-run double. Twins thought that was going to be the big hit because it put the Twins in front back in the sixth inning. But the lead didn't last very long. Up and away, 2-0.
Another multi-hit for Eddie Rosario with 3 hits. He's got 36 now. J.D. Martinez leads the American League in multi-hit games with 39.
And a strike. 2-1. If you'd have asked me at the start of this homestand, is there any game in this homestand, and if I had the list of all the starting pitchers in front of me for the games, there's a pop-up, a long run for Robertson, the only infielder over there, and he won't get there. Is there any game, Dick Bramer, that you think will last 2.5 hours or less, I would have picked today's game. Right? Barrios and Archer, and I figured, well, that's going to be a very quickly played game. Well, we're 3 hours and 17 minutes into it, and we're only in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Well, how many times should we say this should be a pitcher's duel and ends up not quite like this, but half of this?
Up and away, 3-2.
Now, tomorrow's game will be a pitcher's duel.
I think that'll be a quick.
We just don't know who's pitching.
Just in terms of numbers, yes. Which team's going to use the most pitchers? Oh, nice catch down the right field line.
$25,094 Twin fans and baseball fans here this afternoon.
Very nice.
Nice catch.
And another pop-up near the Rays dugout. And hey, what a play by Schultz. The pitcher, the best athlete on the team.
Thank you.
And the Twins go 1-2-3 in the 8th. FF1. Haven't written that down many times in my.
Who's he think? Eddie Gordado or something?
Modric and Croatia in the FIFA World Cup final. Coverage begins tomorrow at 9 a.m. Central, or stream it live on the Fox Sports app.
Hey, my team Belgium won today. They won over England, I believe, 2-0.
Okay.
So they came in 3rd place.
There's Williams Astudillo, and he is pitching to the Rays here in the 9th inning, starting with Carlos Gomez. Williams Astudillo, a longtime minor leaguer. And he threw a little breaking ball there to Gomez, who looks out of the mound saying, oh yeah, I got one of them.
Yeah, I got scouting report on him. Fastball, breaking ball, changeup.
And a high fly to left field, and Gomez is going to enjoy that. Into the second deck. And Astudillo with a rude greeting by Carlos Gomez.
And for Gomez, his 8th home run of the year. And he drives in himself. Second home run for the Rays here this afternoon.
And now Malik Smith.
Swing by Smith. I know Dan Gladden a couple times, of course, with the radio. He got on that mound a couple times.
Well, it was a chronic problem last year. Remember, Chris Jimenez made 6 appearances on the mound before the All-Star break. And then I don't think made another one after that. 2-1. Fair into the corner. Well, we wouldn't expect any strikeouts or walks because Astudillo doesn't do that when he hits. He's giving up a home run and a double.
And Smith picks up his 3rd hit of the ball game. His 14th double of the year.
Echeverria will bat with a runner at second, nobody out.
I think when position players end up on the mound, they realize how hard it is to throw strikes.
Another base hit. And a home run, a double, and a single from the 7, 8, 9 batters, and now Kiermaier.
Echeverria with his 3rd hit of the ball game. It's the 18th hit for the Rays here this afternoon.
Kiermaier with a bunt single his last time up. Then he failed to bunt in the 7th and ended up hitting a little chip shot single. Strike on the outside corner. It's a foul ball. It's 15-6. And at one point the Twins had a 6-4 lead. Going into the 7th inning. One and two. Cedillo saying, hey, where was it? You're squeezing me. Hit hard, but foul. Up and away.
High is 86, low is 72.
Might just be getting tired. Although that one at 84.
Nice compact delivery.
Hot ground ball knocked down by Adrianza, and Astudillo is there, not in time. And Kiermaier busting it down the line, gets a base hit. The inning continues with Smith scoring from third.
Paul wants to look at it right here. Let's take a look right here. Astudillo gets over there. Did he get there first?
Yeah. Well, they're going to challenge it just to try to get an out. Well, give us time to document who all has been a position player who has pitched for the Twins. I mentioned Jimenez did it last year, and what's amazing, he made 6 appearances in a month and a half, and his last appearance was June 22nd. Escobar did it the year before that. I don't remember that. Eduardo Escobar.
And they do call him out.
Okay, good.
Kiermaier does pick up an RBI, his 2nd of the ball game. And Echeverry at second base.
And now Robertson will make his first plate appearance. Shane Robinson pitched for the Twins once in Cleveland in 2015. Jamie Carroll in Kansas City in 2013. The memorable one, Drew Butera, struck out Carlos Gomez in Milwaukee. Michael Kadire did it. Johnny Moses did it 3 times. Dan Gladden twice.
Twice, right.
Cesar Tovar did it, but he started the game.
They played all 9 positions.
Yeah. Pitched the first inning and struck out Reggie Jackson.
That's not saying much.
So, in the entire history of blowout games, Twins position players, there have only been 3 strikeouts. Tovar struck out Jackson. Butera struck out Carlos Gomez. And Shane Robinson struck out somebody in Cleveland. And I don't remember who that was. Let's see if we can get Kevin, our pale-faced stats guy, in the truck, see if he can find out who that was. Three and 2. This could be history here if Astudillo can strike a batter out. And instead, a wobbling base hit to center field.
And Robertson in his first at bat picks up an RBI. And 19 hits now for the Rays.
Here comes Garvin Alston, come out and introduce himself to Astudillo. I'm the pitching coach. There was a game a few days ago where there were 2 position players who pitched, and the first one pitched, I think, as early as the 4th inning. This is just mop-up duty here. Still only 1 out.
I really don't know what Garvin Alston could have said to us.
Telling you, he introduced him. He said, you know, I'm the pitching coach here. And
I told him to slow down a little bit.
Lob it in there, let them get themselves out.
I like fantasy camp.
2-0. Well, he hasn't hit anybody, and he hasn't walked anybody. Well, Kevin, our stats guy in the truck, you know, you ever met Kevin?
Yeah.
You know, he's our stats guy. He's just really kind of a nerdy looking guy.
Kevin will be up
There's
there.
a drive to right field, and it's gone. A 2-run home run, and Astudillo is just giving up another 5 spot. 5 in the 7th, 5 in the 8th, and 5 so far here in the 9th.
Of course, this time, you know, it's more like batting practice, and Bauer's taking advantage of it, hitting his 5th home run of the year. And driving in 2 more runs for the Rays. Now have 20 hits and 19 runs.
Anyway, Kevin unearthed that Shane Robinson struck out someone by the name of Jerry Sands in Cleveland back in 2015.
Whatever Alston told him, it didn't work.
No. Well, and of course the sad thing is the Twins have just 2 mound visits left.
Can you replace a position player on the mound with another position player?
This one hit to left, and Rosario drifting back. There's out number 2.
That's the hardest ball that Sucre hit.
Didn't get an RBI for it.
Oh.
And now here's Crone. Five runs on 5 hits. And the Rays' BABIP against Astudillo is very high. The batting average on balls in play. Not counting the home runs, though. Oh, and 2.
Curveball coming to pop up.
And Astudillo comes off the mound with an ERA of 45. Here, a couple of walks, couple of hits, somebody jacks one. We're only down by 8. They haven't given up yet. Got the rally hats on. And Schultz has a chance for somewhat of a rarity, a 3-inning save. They'll leave him in there to pitch to the Twins, starting with Brian Dozier in the bottom of the 9th. Twins had a 6-4 lead going to the 7th inning. And the Rays scored 5 in the 7th, 5 in the 8th, 5 in the 9th.
Schultz is at 38 pitches right now. 20 strikes, a couple strikeouts, 1 walk. Not giving up a hit. And Schultz in his rookie season, be his first major league save. He's able to get 3 outs.
1-1 to Dozier. But now
it's the second time he's hit the backstop.
50 years from now, well, let's just say it's his only save in his big league career. We wish him all the luck in the world. Hope he pitches for 10 years in the big leagues. But if this is his only save, and he'll tell his grandchildren, yeah, I got a save. It was in the middle of July in 2018. And the grandchildren will say, well, what was the score? And he'll say, well, 19-6. He may tell his grandchildren about the foul ball catch before the save.
Exactly.
Up high, and Dozier takes a walk.
Second walk that Schultz has allowed.
Mitch Garver will hit in Escobar's spot. Garver with good offensive numbers, hitless in 2 at-bats in the series. Pretty good bet he'll be catching tomorrow afternoon. Ball 1. I would think a pretty good bet that Sucre will be catching for the Rays tomorrow. Ramos having to leave because of tight hamstrings. The word we got was plural. I don't know if that means both legs or what that might all mean, but pretty good bet that he's not going to be playing tomorrow. 1-1. The best news we can give you about today is the fact that Byron Buxton did not have a broken hook of the hamate, a sprained wrist instead. The Red Wings did put him on the disabled list, and in the minor leagues that is a minimum of 7 days. Sergio Romo getting loose in case
there's a save situation.
Schultz can't throw it over the plate anymore. And there's a strike. Dozier gone, 1 away.
And third strikeout
Garver,
for
rather, I should say. Bring up Polanco. Polanco 1 for 4, a single, 2 strikeouts, and a flyout.
Yeah, I think Romo down there just getting some throwing in. He might be starting tomorrow. Who knows?
Popped up. And the edge of the outfield grass. Catch is made by Robertson, 2 down. And now Kepler.
Well, way back in the second inning, Twins had a 1-0 lead thanks to Max Kepler. Solo home run, his 11th of the year.
Ball 1. Two and 0. And now a strike. Pitch up, fouled it straight back, 2-2. Twins don't have a hit against Schultz. He has issued 2 walks. Three and 2.
Third walk for Schultz.
Second this inning. And Romo's coming into the game. So we'll have a pitching change. Schultz can't get the 3-inning save. And the 2 walks here in the 9th inning with a 13-run lead didn't help. We're going to go to break, and we're going to watch Sergio Romo throw sliders when we come back. And Romo enters the game in a non-save situation.
Yeah, Romo making his 45th relief appearance. He made 5 starts for the Rays. In his second season with the Rays, last year started with the Dodgers, traded over in late July. Romo's success in the big leagues basically with the Giants. He made the All-Star team back in 2013 when he was a member of the Giants.
Adrianza the batter. Strike one. One and one. And now 1 and 2.
Pulled the string right there. Change up. Romo, 35 years old. Signed by the Giants back in 2005. Made his major league debut in 2008.
Missing. It's 2 and 2. Cave left the ball game in the 6th inning. 2 and 2. 3 and 2.
One thing Romo has, he has 3 World Series rings with the Giants, 2010, 12, and 14.
Full count. And Romo comes into the game and does something that Schultz could have done. 3 walks in the inning.
Tried a 3-2 slider right there with a 13-run lead.
Now Grossman will bat with the bases loaded and 2 down. The only ball put in play was the pop-up caught by Robertson. Grounder to second, and the Rays get in the win column. And the Twins will try to make it 3 out of 4 in the ball game tomorrow afternoon.
Well, you play 162 ball games, you're going to have some ugly ones. And for the Minnesota Twins, this was an ugly one.
The booth will now turn it over to the desk where the postgame show will begin, hosted by our good friend Tom Hanneman.
Thanks so much. Tampa Bay tormented the Twins here this afternoon with an avalanche of offense. Up next on Twins Live, presented by CenturyLink, we'll break down a hit parade for the Rays. Jose Barrios closes out his first half with something we haven't seen in a while. We'll hear from Paul Molitor, his post-game thoughts, and one more game before the break. Not sure who's pitching, but we'll try to figure that out.